last minute stream. Sorry for no warning. Let's see if I could get somewhat of a fun background in here. Jeez. The lamp is shining so bright. You can't even see my cool pillows. What if we put that one there? Yeah. There we go. I just needed to get some whips done, so I figured let's see if anyone else wants to work on their whips at the same time. And I need to double check where I am. There's that. I think I was picking up stitches along the edge, but I need to double check where I was. Pick up in 2 out of 3 rows along the edge. I'm like losing my mind reading this. This one is called Artisanal Kimono, and it is available on Ravelry. I'm actually kind of doing it wrong, so I'm, instead of using the size that it says, I'm using this really thick stuff because that's what my customer had on hand and she wanted me to use. So I'm just making sure that like the math lines up, and if it says like do this stitch pattern for 14 inches, then I'm doing that. So I have like math to figure out. I have to do math to figure out how many stitches of this size equals however many stitches of the other side. So let me see. Pick up in 2 out of 3 rows. A plus. There's also like an extra page that's like, this is how you can modify it, so I'm kind of looking at this. Let me see. Center panel has 68 stitches. In the pattern, there's 7.5 inches. Let's see what we could do. Hello, Anthony. Also, I'm sorry if I didn't say hello before, Amaris. Let's see. Okay, so that's 2, and then we skip a spot and then do 2 more. I filmed so many videos today. Well, I edited a video about making rats, which should be up tomorrow. And then I also filmed, but I didn't edit yet, trying on every sweater and cardigan that I have in stock, and then trying on every like crop top thing that I've made that I have in stock. So that those 2 should be coming out soon. I had a guest on the crop top one. Hello, Sebastian. Thank you for subscribing. And Scorpion, hello to you as well. I'm just trying to make sure I don't put too many stitches on this, because since it's chunky, it takes a little less time, but it also means any mistake you make, you can really see it. So I have to like take my time, make sure I'm doing it correctly. Let's see. Skip that one, then do 1 and 2. Let me know if the music is too loud, by the way. We are hearing the music through my TV, so it's not something I can just like hit a button on the phone and fix, so you gotta let me know. So there's that, skip that one, do that one next, 1 and 2, and then skip that, and then do 1 and 2. I'm really hoping I have enough to finish this kimono with just what the customer gave me. I have like 2 more of these, and then I have a large skein of a very similar color that's like so similar that you probably couldn't tell just by looking at it that it's a different colorway, but it is. So we'll see. I'm almost done picking up stitches. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this basket weave pattern on the edge, but we shall try. So I only have that much more to pick up, so I think that's 4 more. Skip 1 and then do 1, 2, and then skip 1 and do 1 and 2. And then I have to count how many I have. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then that's marked. So I'm not sure why I marked that. Hello, Ferdinator. I remember you. I know who you are. I'm not going to say your name out loud just in case you don't want the internet to know your name, but I remember you. Hello, it's nice to see you. Why did I mark 16? Is it... Oh, I think it says plus... Ah, it says a multiple of 8 will make the pattern work. Okay, so I want it to be a multiple of 8. So here's 16 plus 8. Here's plus 8. And then here's another plus 8. Here's another 8. And 7. There's 8. There's 4 and 8. And 4 and 8. And then there's 4. And I have to put 1 down here to fudge it. So I might just do, instead of the basket weave stitch on the edges, I might do the seed stitch again. Let's see. Yeah, I think that will be easier. And I don't know that she really wants it to have that, it's like a slightly different texture. I don't know how well you can see it on here, but the sleeves have like a bumpy texture and the body doesn't, but she really just wanted this like style of garment, so it's kind of okay. I think I'm gonna do seed stitch. So let's see, we need to do this for 7.5 inches. So now I get to do my easy peasying, and let's see, where is this is the bottom here. So to make it nice and neat, usually you would slip the first stitch on both. This is weird. This is how it folds up. And then this is like the front flap, and then this is the back piece, and then the other flap is there. I'm gonna write down how many stitches I got just for my own bookkeeping. 4, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 77. Okay, write that down. 77 this way. And now we can just get vibing with the stitching. So if anyone has a project they need to work on, I encourage you to get that out and work on it. And I am also open to doing Q&A. So if you have a question about what I'm making and why I make certain things and what's going on, go ahead and ask. Where are my... This was a pearl. So I guess if I start with a... Well, this is an odd number, so if I start with a knit, yeah, and then I'll mark the next one as a pearl. On this side, that was a pearl, yes. I think it's funny when I make videos and then I say the word pearl and the auto caption thinks I'm saying pearl like an oyster's pearl. But yeah, now we can really just vibe because this is just ribbing. But yeah, I had my first Pride event of the month and the year yesterday. That was lots of fun. It rained so much. I was at Old Ellicott City Pride, and we had to scoot everything in under the footprint of the table, and it was raining like off and on. So when we got home, I was worried about stuff like smelling bad and everything, so I had to take like 7 bins and suitcases of crochet stuff and like set it all up in the house where it could dry overnight. But I checked on them this morning, everything was dry, and I was able to pack them back up. And I updated my shop inventory because I have the same inventory at in-person events that I do online. So basically, if someone buys something in person, I have to also mark it as unavailable on my shop online. So I went through and did that today. I need to do some plushie making, which the rats actually were a big seller. So I only have 1 rat left. Actually, that's a lie. I made 2 more last night, just when I was chilling. But I want to make more rats because people really liked the rats. I had 5 and I sold 4. And people also really liked the possum, so I want to make some more possums. I have a really good possum pattern. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to make more possums. I have another event coming up in like 2 weeks, and I think we're gonna try to find an event to go to but not sell at this weekend. So I don't remember whether it's Annapolis Pride or what that has something this weekend, but we're gonna go somewhere, and we're also gonna protest on 14th. So that will be important. What else has been going on? I gave Teddy his medication right before this, and he gets it, like, I basically crush up the pills and put them in the little lickable treats for cats, and he loves those things so much. It's like his favorite part of the day is his medicine because it's in a treat. Oh wait, if this is an odd number, then the next row has to start with a pearl, I think. Or no, if I end on a knit. Oh, so do I just start on a knit every time? That's actually way easier to keep track of. Always start with a knit. Easy peasy. Anyways, what are you guys working on? Whether it's like school or I don't know what other kind of projects there are, like paintings or like painting minifigures. I haven't actually seen my minifigure in a while because we haven't had our D&D game in forever. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes being an adult. I think our D&D group actually was like organizing a hike soon, but I don't think I can go because I have the event on that day. But yeah. Oh well. We can go on a different hike a different day. I don't know. I think the pearl marker I put can count as my measurement marker, because I have to keep track of. It said like knit for 7.5 inches, so I have to keep track of how long that is and whether I've done it yet. Oh, my thing is getting unruly. Also, a reminder that liking the live stream can help get some more people in here so we can have some chatters. But it's also okay to lurk as well. I think I started this back in like March. And the customer is actually one of my like supervisors, and she has been very patient, so I'm trying to get it done. I also have a dragon order that I need to start working on. Maybe I'll do a video for that one. I don't know what kind of videos people want to watch. I feel like I watch so many different types of videos. I'm like mostly making like fiber art stuff, but if I want to paint something and do a video of it, I will. But I don't know. One of the people who came to my booth at the event yesterday was like, "Oh, so do you just crochet and knit every waking moment?" And I was like, "You didn't have to clock me like that." But basically, yeah. When you go to my booth, it's like full of so much stuff. It looks like I don't know. I feel like people always think that I like stay up super late and I'm like making so much because like I feel like I have to have so much, but it's like no, I just have things for a while, and if they haven't sold yet, it doesn't mean I stop making things. There's like people who learn to crochet to make things to sell. I feel like, you know, if they have enough stock, they're like, I'm going to stop. But then for me, I'm like, I have yarn and I need to do something, and I don't want to keep every single possible thing that I make. So I gotta give it to somebody. And selling it makes me some money. This is like crooked. Or like it's looped on itself. Probably shouldn't be sitting on my feet, but that is where they are right now. The music mix that I have on is, I guess it's like Pusheen themed or something, but the picture on the screen is just Pusheen on the couch reading a little book. Really cute. This Pusheen is very chonk. I was brainstorming some of my next projects because of course I can't only think about the ones that are like in progress. And I was thinking of doing a purple, like really long cardigan for myself. But I have to decide on what like stitch I want to do and if I want it to be knit or crochet. So that's my current debate. Because knitting, I feel like I don't know, it takes longer, but it really shows off the yarns, and the yarns I'm using were like things I got when I was traveling, and I'm like intending to put a tag on the inside that's like made with yarn from England and France and Vermont and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to do like, if I crochet, I'm gonna probably use a really small stitch, like moss stitch, which will help the colors like play nice and like go with each other, because it's gonna be a bunch of different balls of yarn. But at the same time, I'm like, if I crochet with such a small stitch, it's going to take long enough that I might as well have just knit it. So I don't know, I might have to do some testing and see what will work. I also have to figure out what needles or hook I'm gonna use, because some of the yarns are thinner than the others, so I'd probably have to hold 2 strands at once. Which is okay, I just need to make sure that like it's easy enough to mix that with the other yarns that I'm using that aren't gonna be 2 strands at once. I also have a really exciting project coming up that I'm going to make for my sibling for Christmas, because that is what they specifically requested and they bought the yarn for it. And that is a Starry Night inspired sweater, and that one is going to be knit. I think I'm going to do a top-down raglan sweater, and basically I'm just going to knit the buildings in black and the sky with like sparkly variegated blue, and then I'm going to basically slip stitch the colorful swirls onto the front, and I'm excited. It's gonna be really fun. I also get to like do it sort of mindlessly at first, because it is only the 2 colors and the black doesn't even come into play until lower down on the sweater. Oops, I did that one wrong. There we go. I fixed it. This one, I actually had never used these big 8mm needles from my kit before, so now I have. I might have used them on a hat, but I don't think so. I have actually a few more, I think like 3 or 4 skeins of chunky yarn, so I'm thinking I should make some more plushies with those maybe. I have 2 of this like really nice turquoise blue. I'm trying to think like what should I do with that, like a whale or something. And then I do have gray, so maybe I could do a possum or a rat with the gray. And what else? There's a white and a black, which to me immediately I think panda. So maybe I'll make a little panda with those. I was gonna knit hats with them, but it's not really hat season, and I also have like a hat sale going on so that people buy my extra hats. So yeah, I don't know about making any more hats right now. Although I was considering making hats with smaller yarn, so that way I could do like one color for most of the hat and then a stripe of the pride flag through the middle. because I think that would be cute. I just haven't executed it yet. I haven't even had any of my drink yet. Are we surprised? We're not surprised. It's because I buy them 25 at a time, or probably 24 at a time actually. Because a dozen is the number that people in America standardize things by. After this row, I'm gonna check and see what our progress is, like if we've done an inch yet. I think I've done maybe 3 rows, which these rows are very long. So I'm glad that I did that. But also, one of the things that I do when knitting, because it takes quite a bit longer than crochet for me to make like a certain length anyway, is I will put a stitch marker on the knitting where I started that day, and then I put another one where I start the next day, and I can see like, oh, I worked on, like, I got 2 inches of the thing done yesterday. So if I have another certain amount of time, like what I worked on, then I will basically get another certain amount of inches out of that time. Okay, so here's our stitch marker, right? Let's see what we did. We did 1.5 inches, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Dang. Okay. So 1.5 inches, so we have 6 inches left. That would be 5 is 1.5 inches. Then 5 would be 1.5 inches. 10 would be 3 inches. So we need 20 more rows to get to 7.5. That's not bad. I don't know if it's all gonna come out of this cake, so we might have to go into the other one, but we'll see what happens. The good news is that this yarn is still being produced, so like if I run out, it's okay because I can get some more. I actually had an order, like I said before, I'm gonna be making a dragon soon, and the dragon that I had made and also sold at the show where I got this like order, basically someone else bought it, and another person came up and was like, oh, I was really thinking about getting that, and I was like, well, I can make you another one. And I thought the yarn was still in production, but it turns out that that one is not, so I had to like pay extra to buy it on eBay and have it shipped to my house. But it's okay because, you know, I charged accordingly for new material. But so I have that now. The only thing is, if you make a mistake on that yarn, it's really difficult to take out because the yarn wants to like grab itself. So I'm gonna have to go very, very slow and make sure I'm following the pattern correctly. But that's not too big of a deal. Actually thinking of putting, I have like a stitch stopper thing so that you can keep your, well, it's not to keep your sides separated, but it's supposed to make it so that like when you're knitting, all your stitches aren't falling to the far side of the cable, which for this, see, the cable is much longer than the actual like fabric. So it's kind of falling down there, and then you have to keep like tugging it, and that can be annoying, and it can also hurt your wrist sometimes. I'm not particularly sensitive to it, but you know, I want this to be done sooner than later. So I think after I finish this row, I'm gonna grab one of my stitch stoppers and throw it on there, and I'll show you how it works. It basically will just keep the stitches close to whatever side you are knitting, and for something like this where like it's a very long like stretch of stitches, it can also help you just go a little quicker. There's a bug. Go get it, baby. I don't know why that bug thought he was down on my hand, but we're supposed to be chilling. Okay, I'm gonna take a little sip of my chilled drink to help me chill, because I was not expecting that bug. Get him, baby. I don't know, it kind of looked like a lightning bug, but I don't think it's time for those yet. Where'd it go, baby? You gotta get it. I don't know if you can, no, you can't see her in the back. She's like investigating the yarn wall, being like, where are you, bug? I will get you. Where'd it go, baby? Baby, do you want to come be on the stream? She's like, nah, I got hunting to do. Okay, here we are, back over here. So my stitch stopper is in my work bag, which is not right here. So I'm gonna run and grab that, and I'll be back. Boom. Oh. What happened? Why did that turn off? Hold on. There we go. The plug came undone. Yeah, this is my current work bag. I have a lot of bags and I cycle through them. But right now it has Black Lives Matter pin and a kind of like gumball machine type keychain charm thing. And then I was looking for this, and I'll show you what's in my work bag too. Wow, very pretty. It's kind of doing its own like argyle thing, so that's cool. But that's Tunisian crochet. That's another technique that like I haven't done a lot, but I'm trying it and I'm enjoying it. And this is our cable stopper or stitch stopper. So I think I'm gonna have to take the needle off to put that on there, but once it's on there, it can just stay there. So take the needle off, and then this, you push down and the hole goes through, and you put that on your cable, and then when you let go, it stays there. So like even if I let go of this, they wouldn't come off because that is on there. But you can also use it how I'm gonna use it, which is, let me just put the needle back on. When you're knitting something with a lot of stitches on a long cable and you don't want to keep pushing them up, you just bunch them up as small as it'll go and then move that down the cable, and then all your stitches are like, pick me, do me next, and it's like they're all so excited to get on your other needle because they have that bunched up factor. Except for the fact that I think I did it backwards. Did I? Yes. I bunched them going the other way. I needed to put them on the other needle. Whoops. Okay, let's fix that. My bad. I was like, wow, look how cool this thing is, and I'm so smart to use it. And then it was like, no, you're dumb. Okay, let's put this on the right side for once. Okay, and then we bunch them to the other side. Like that. Then we have all this empty space for them to go to, and that keeps them over here so they're ready to be knitted. And feel free to ask any questions or let me know what you're working on as well. This is supposed to be like body doubling, so I actually get work done on this. Because I kind of put it to the side for like a month and I'm like, no, I want to get that done. I want these long cables back because they're really helpful for making socks, which I want to do more of because there is a method called magic loop. And basically your loop is way bigger than the circumference of what you're making so that you only work on half of it at a time, and then you do some magic and you move the loop around, and that way you can make socks without using the tiny stabby pointy needles, which I do have, but I don't prefer using them. And I want to make more socks, so I have a very extensive sock yarn collection. I just reorganized all my yarn a couple weeks ago, and I did make a video about it. If you're interested in watching that, it's on my channel. But I need to use my sock yarns to make socks. So let's do that. Baby is chilling with us on the couch, slightly out of view. I don't really want to move the camera though because I'll never get it back to the right spot. Oh, she's getting up. She's leaving. Baby's mad because I finally got rid of the Christmas tree that was in the box upstairs. She, for some reason, likes chewing on it, and then she just like, you know, it comes out of her mouth and is on the ground, and it's yucky, and I keep stepping in it by accident. But today, my dad actually came to my house and took the Christmas tree to donate it to a church, and baby can no longer chew on it, so that's nice. What else did I do today? Oh, I had someone come over and buy some fur fabric because I have still way too much that I'm ever going to use. So I had one of the local furries come over and they looked at it and picked some to take home. Then we went and got boba. Me and my sibling went and got boba. And we went on the swing set near my house, which is always fun. It was funny because there was like either a mom or a grandma there with like a baby. And we were like, oh, well, we don't want to make them uncomfortable and feel like they have to leave just because these two like adults are coming to sit on the swing set. So we stayed in the car for a little bit, and then I was like jokingly putting out into the world like, ooh, you want to take your baby home for a nap. Ooh, the baby wants to go inside. Just like manifesting them leaving the playground, not because I didn't want them to have fun on it, but just like to avoid an awkward situation. And they actually did get up and leave. It was pretty ironic. But we went on the swings, and I was talking about what else, knitting and crochet and my projects and my business and my plans. And some of the plans I started to make were like trying to think about how I could do more online, because I sell pretty well at in-person events, but online is like a lot more of a struggle because it's a lot more like keeping up with posting and stuff, and I don't want to be constantly on my phone looking at posts. So there's like a delicate balance between, you need to be on this app to post something, but don't get sucked into scrolling for an hour, you know? So one of my ideas was like maybe bringing a dry erase board into this room and highlighting which whips are my main focus, and revamping my Trello board, which has like all of my whips on it. At the beginning of the year, I did a video where I was talking about like, these are my whips from 2024 and I'm gonna Frogger finish them. And some of them are still not finished. So I need to like really crack down and finish the ones that I want to finish. And then I don't have like too many new ideas for projects. Like the Van Gogh sweater was going to happen either way because I need to have it done by Christmas. And the purple one I did really want to start this year, but you know, it doesn't have to be done this year. So I'm not like, oh, I have to start that as soon as possible. I'm more just like going through the logistics of it. But the more I do the logistics, I bet I'm gonna get more hyped about it and want to just start it. So I should maybe not do too many logistics until I finish more whips. I did finish my Pearl Scout sash though, which I can show you actually because it's right here. I kind of went rogue. I didn't exactly follow the pattern. I used my Centro machine to do the long tube because I was having gauge issues, and I wanted the item more than I wanted to knit a tube, right? So I made the tube on my machine, and then I did the decreases down here by hand on needles when I took it off. And then I have a bunch of my fiber art themed pins on there, and then these are the Pearl Scout badges. So they have a bunch of different ones and different yarn stores, and then also this company that makes them, they sell them in the yarn stores or at fiber events. So whenever I see them at fiber events or yarn stores, I'm gonna get one. And the ones I have on there right now are Creator, Crafter, and Dying Dabbler. But technically I've earned many more than that. I just haven't purchased them yet. They have ones for like crochet, or if you are like a top-down sock knitter versus bottom-up sock knitter. They have all kinds of different badges you can get. But I finished that whip, so that's off of that needle or cable that it was on. And this one I'm hoping to finish so I can get this long one back. I also have a sweater project that I'm like, I don't want to work on it in the summer because it is 100% wool stranded with mohair, which is very warm. And I do still get cold a lot in the summer, but I don't want that to be the project I'm bringing around everywhere. So I was even thinking of putting this really long cable in that one so I can get the other cable out because it's a perfect circumference for a sweater, obviously, because it's in the sweater project. And then I can make the Van Gogh sweater and put that one in hibernation until near Christmas time when I can pick it back up again and, you know, want to be warm and cozy while working on it. Baby's just staring at the wall. I don't know what's up with that. We've been live for 46 minutes and 30 seconds. I might go in just a little bit because I'm kind of running out of brain power, but I will continue working on this tonight. Just might be while watching Supernatural, which, by the way, I got to season 13 and like what happens, it's just very interesting. And I'm like, ooh, Sam and Dean are kind of sort of dads, and I'm like, uncle dads, dunkles. But yeah, I think once I get to the end of this row, we'll call it a night here. But thank you for hanging out if you did. Thank you to everyone who commented, because those are my favorite to read. And thanks to anyone who just listened to me rambling for an hour. Thanks to the bug for causing a little bit of a scene, and thanks to Baby for chasing the bug. And expect a rat video tomorrow. I'm really gonna try to get back on my regular Monday upload day and then Thursday for extra videos, but I just had a lot going on this weekend, so I couldn't get it out until tomorrow. So I'm so sorry, but that's the way the cookie crumbled, and you know I like cookies. So, ooh, that's an actually a good idea too. I could make a chocolate chip cookie plushie. I'll have to see, because I also have a order for a turtle, and they wanted that one to be made with blanket yarn as well, so I have to see if I have any of the brown left after that to make a chocolate chip cookie. Got the final few stitches here of the row. Whoops. And the last one. There we go. And then let's just check how far we got. We have about 3 inches. So that's pretty good, especially because I was still picking up stitches on that row when we first started. So yes, that's gonna be all from me. Expect the rat video tomorrow, and expect more videos soon. I'm gonna try to edit those maybe tomorrow and then get them pre-programmed ahead of time so that I can't miss an upload day. But yeah, that's all for now, and remember to like the stream/video if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Remember how to end this.